thank you for being here. Now, I really don't know how to introduce these two. They've been around forever. The more I say, the less it seems. We've had so many associations, and every time I have something more to say about you. But starting from India's most exotic swimwear, which was India's answer to any Victoria's Secret, so to anything else, we all stopped grabbing our imported stuff. We all ran to their stores. They made you look into in fab colors. I mean, they were India's answer to everything sexy and hot. Women started experimenting, that daring experimentation came with them. They made you say that bold is beautiful. And thank you, boys. You really I have dared to be in one, which I probably wouldn't have ever dared to. But there you are. And now they have also expanded in doing wallpaper. They're getting into home furnishing. They're getting into decor. Their expertise of probably design is expanding. And what's interesting is they are probably one of the few in the industry today who so beautifully drape a slightly oversized size. I mean, there's nothing oversized anymore. There's nothing plus. Everybody's body is beautiful. But they have tried to break that fascination with size 0, and I'm so happy about that, and try to say that every size is beautiful. Thank you, boys. And today we are going to work, they're going to weave their magic on how to style yourselves. We've got two beautiful girls out here, and they're going to weave their magic on those girls with their beautiful goals. Thank you, Shivan. Thank you, Narresh. And before I get the girls on board, I want you to say a few words on, who is the talking cowboy? Okay. So Narresh is going to do the formalities. Shivan is going to do the formalities and Narresh is going to do the talking. I don't know how they divide it amongst themselves. That's the secret. We'll never know. Hi, yes.
Hi, everyone. I mostly don't talk, but I'm the one who does all the magic from the back. But I know that today we're here to kind of show you guys what a body type should dress and should probably not dress as, but I believe there's no knots, there's not many knots available. It's really up to you how you carry it, how you feel confident in that very garment, and that's it. The confidence is what has to be worn at the end.
I think it's all about loving yourself first, never feeling fat, and that's why go out and eat.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us actually here. We don't really actually get to do this very often, to do this that publicly, but
we know you love Hello.
It's good to do this actually.
Absolutely. There's so many around. Up there, down there. Everybody wants to know, and of course, when we announced the session, there was more excitement about you guys being here.
Thanks, Ruchika. Thanks again. Okay, where do we start? I think before we get on to the glamorous part of styling and how do you really put yourself together, whether you're out on a holiday or on a destination wedding, I think the foundation of dressing is to actually understand your body type, being aware of what your body shape is and what you are. I'm sure this is something very easy. All of you think you know your body, and that's good. But this journey of awareness of what your body type is something which is long, and you should constantly be on it. Not because that there is only one right answer to this, but only because there are that many things you can explore once you know your body type extremely well. Because we don't have a lot of time, for me to explain this to you, we'll probably explore, we largely divide an anatomy in 4 different body types. So most of you will fall into either of them. We have something called an apple shape. They're actually divided as per fruits. So we have an apple, we have a pear, we have a banana, and then we also have the quintessential hourglass figure. Let's start with
which is what the 80% of the girls out here are.
Which is actually which is what majority of Indian body frames are. We are an hourglass figure, And to your surprise, actually, it's the most flattering body type
True.
to be in the world. Because if you actually start understanding different cultures across the world, whether you speak to a Brazilian woman, an American woman, or a European woman, they're all going under the knife, doing 10 million things only to be an hourglass figure. And here we are, blessed with an hourglass figure, but we've just been hiding behind layers and layers of, colonial years of clothing, and we just do not wake up and take confidence in what we already have. I think quintessentially all Indian women are born with narrow waists, fuller hips, and fuller busts and wider hips, which is what gives us the hourglass very, very effortlessly.
Well endowed, like they say.
Absolutely, everywhere except the waist, and
That's where you don't want to be.
it's true. So yeah, before we get to the hourglass, let's also explore the rest, the apple, pear, and banana, and then we'll go to hourglass.
Can we have the girls?
Have the girls? Okay. Okay, let's begin. So let me explain the principles of dressing. It's very simple. We'll start with the apple pear. And now, girls, why don't you give us your names?
Anya, Ria.
So we have Anya and Ria here with us today. Let's start with Anya. Let's say now, if you are an apple shape is essentially somebody who has a wider waist. So the widest part of their body is the waist. And as you start from the shoulder and as you come to your ankles, if you notice yourself in the mirror, the silhouette that you will see is probably close to an apple. Now, coming back to foundations, in swimwear, intimate clothing, or in general in fashion, whenever you're dressing for a body type, you do not try and hide the body. You actually just try and shift the focus on another part of the body that is your strength. So for example, as a shape of an apple, if you see it in an anatomy, the strength of a woman who is an apple shape would be, let's say, her collarbones, or her neck, or her neckline, or also her legs. So anything that you do in terms of dressing, whether it's a swimsuit, it's a dress, or it's a gown, you do accentuating and shifting the focus from your torso onto your collarbones or onto your feet. So let's say in this case, if we were to do a styling session for swim and resort or for a holiday, I would pick, let's say, it would be nice to pick a one-shoulder swimsuit. Why? Because when you do a one-shoulder style, what are you doing? You're essentially guiding the eye of the viewer. You're essentially guiding the eye of the viewer on the glamorousness of the diagonal line that's on the body. So if you look at her instantly, before you notice anything, the midriff, anything, you straight away notice the neckline, or you are going to notice her legs. That's one of the biggest reasons in swimwear you should never pick a boy short style. It's one of the biggest misconceptions Indian women have.
You have to repeat this, Naresh.
Yeah. You never wear a boy short style. This is the #1 rule of swimsuit. Especially with Indian women, they think they have big hips, so they want to hide. But when they hide, they don't realize. Now imagine if I take this red and cut it across her body like this. You're essentially going to feel that she is half or inch or an inch shorter than what she already is.
It's also more boxy.
It makes it boxy. Essentially, imagine it's a red color running all across her body as she turns around, and it's going to make her look bigger than what she already is. And it'll make her look shorter than what she already is. Since height is not one of the strengths of our of us as Indian people, this is something you should always avoid. There are a lot of other ways of for you to conceal your hip if you wish to, and that's where styling comes in. But the important lesson here is do not do boy short. That's not the solution. There are other styling solutions. So yeah, so again, coming back to apple pear, you are trying to shift the attention either to the neckline or to the legs. Now let's talk about a pear shape. A pear shape is somebody who has a wider hips. So let's say narrow shoulders, an average or a narrow bust line, and then you have very wide hips. And a lot of you may know women in your friends and your relatives, women who have pear hips. So again, for them, hip is the biggest concern, right? So they're all their lives, they're busy hiding their hips. So they'll wear saris, anything that just doesn't taper too much. Again, the golden principle of shifting focus applies here as well. So shift focus. Where do you shift focus to? If you want to take it away from the hip, if you have narrow shoulders or you have a narrow, a smaller bust line, shift it on your cleavage, shift it on your back, shift it on the slenderness of the legs, anywhere but, let's say, your hips. So, for example, okay. So, for example, let's say if you do a style which, like I said, it accentuates either your either the cleavage, so you're trying to get the attention on the chest, or even if you know that even under the bust is one of the most appropriate areas to do skin show if you want to change, divert the attention, because just under the bust everybody's fit there. Like, no matter what size you might be, that would always be the thinnest part of your body. So whenever you do cutouts just under the bust, it's a great way for you to change and shift focus. So in the pear type, again, try and put attention onto your neckline, just under the bust, or if you are slightly more evolved, I would say go for a higher cut swimsuit. Because then again, the moment you go higher, your hips look smaller. Always, the moment you cut this, let's say, if this was cut higher, it'll look and it'll give you the feeling as if you have a smaller hips. So depending on where you are on your evolution of dressing, you either play with the bust or your legs. Then let's come to the third one, which is your banana. Banana shape is essentially somebody whose width of your shoulders, bust and waist are sort of similar, or at least visually similar. Now, that may not be accurate when you actually take a measuring tape, but largely speaking, you may not have an hourglass, but you almost feel like you're a tube. It's a tubular body. It's also sometimes athletic body. Women who are into sports or women who exercise a lot can also have, let's say, tubular body form. With a tubular body, their biggest struggle is that I don't have a bust line and I don't have a hip, so the priority completely changes, and women want to feel like, okay, I have a very healthy bust line and I do have a healthy bum. So here you have to give an illusion of a good bust and a hip. So cutouts work really well, and so do bikinis, because, and I'll give you the reason for that. When you do cutout styles, so let's say, if you do a cutout style, what happens is you're covering the body except the midriff, and you're cutting the midriff creatively. So what it does, it gives you the illusion that the wearer has an hourglass figure, because you've cut her from the center, but you're covering the top and you're covering the bottom. You also have something similar with a two-piece. So, and even with a two-piece, again, when you work with a banana body type, again, it gives you because you're making the midriff bare. It again gives the illusion that the waist is slimmer and your hip and the bust is wider. So that's the trick that does. And then we come into the end, which is the hourglass. It's one of the most easiest body types to dress, because literally anything under the sun works on this body type. You can do a two-piece, you can do a trikini, you can do a mayo, which is the one-piece, anything, because you have the curves, and no matter what you wear, it's going to fall on your body very well. It's the quintessential feminine body type. So no matter what you wear, it's going to rock. And I'm going to come back to this, that we're all essentially hourglass figures, being Indians. So we're in a very sweet spot in the world. All of you have heard of the phrase that the most beautiful women in the world are mostly Indian. This is where it comes from. Most beautiful women in the world are always considered to be Indian. Why? Because mathematically and scientifically, our body types are closest to that perfect feminine figure, which is the hourglass, which is how the world sees us. So it's like everybody sees us that way except we looking at ourselves that way. That's really where we are in fashion evolution of India at this stage.
This is a very, very amazing statistic and a very amazing fact which should make all of us women very proud.
Well, it's true. You have to see it from a male perspective. Yeah, it is true.
And a designer's eye.
So yeah, I think we'll just wait for the girls to come here, and I will give you guys some very quick tips of how you can style yourselves on a holiday or on a honeymoon. Yeah.
The beach bodies, like they say.
Should we take some questions in the middle, in the meantime? Why
In fact,
not?
yeah, there's a question. Many questions.
Do you recommend the high cut even for the hourglass shape?
Yes, of course. Why
It
not?
doesn't bring focus onto your thunder thighs?
No. So the principle of you're asking about a high cut, right? Okay. The principle for a high cut is that it's only done so that you look taller. So anybody can look taller, and everybody wants to look taller, irrespective of the fruit type, that your body type you might be. You could be an
So your legs
hourglass.
will automatically look longer?
Yes, because imagine that's the amount of skin you're showing, right? And when you talk about the torso, then this part of your body is again the tonus. Always under the bust and just around your crotch are your tonus parts. So the moment you cut here and you cut under the bust, you can easily extend no matter what you're wearing. So it goes even for slits, gowns with side slits, and you can go as high as you can over there because it'll always give the illusion that you're a tall woman. So if you play by that principle, you'll never be wrong, irrespective of that body type. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bounce off of what you said, are there any more tricks that you can tell us about looking taller? Like you said, evolutionary, we're not really blessed in the height department.
To appear taller?
Yeah, like other than the cutouts that you mentioned.
So
that's-
cutout is, of course, if you are on a beach or let's say you're wearing a gown. I think some of the others are that wear a lot of bell bottoms or really high-waisted pants. Thankfully, they're also really in right now. What it does is that when you wear trousers that you wear up till your waist, you're again stretching your legs. It makes you look like you have really long legs when you wear trousers which are up till your waist. If you shape them up from the bottom, you also have the opportunity of actually wearing heels or platforms and hiding them behind the pants. So again, you come across taller. And I think the other thing is another thing that all of us can do, regardless of how tall we are, is just getting how we walk. So just throwing your shoulders at the back just gives you a taller frame. And you automatically will add at least half an inch to yourself the moment you learn how to walk with your shoulders back. This is something, just observe yourself in the mirror, on your free time, see how you walk, how you stand. Your body posture can also lend at least half an inch to your height. So that one also helps. So yeah, these 2 or 3 things.
So Naresh, I'm going to ask, like, Shivan is busy. I'm just going to kind of get this information out. What prompted you to think of swimwear for women? Why such untraditional line of designing?
Okay, that question has 2-part answer. One is very personal. One was that when we both graduated and we were sitting in Italy and we finished our course and we decided, okay, what is it that we would like to do? We tried to get under the skin of that question to say, what is it that we would like to do for the rest of our lives? And for both of us, the answer was travel. And we were like, okay, that means whatever we do in our life has to make us travel. So we were fortunate that amongst lot of design competitions that we had taken part in during our studies, swimwear was the only category that actually made people travel, so who we were designing for travel, and it also made us travel because for inspiration we wanted to travel to get inspired to make that clothing. So it was a very, and it was a very global category. So if we were only dressing Indian women in India, then we knew we were going to be stuck here, and we will not get out. But a swimsuit was a very global product. And interestingly, culturally in the world, we have so many different countries. But when it comes to holidaying, we all speak the same language. So if you are a Brazilian woman, an Indian woman, a Chinese woman, a Russian woman, they go and click themselves the same way on the beach. They like to all look sexy and good. They all like to feel good about themselves. So for us, this was a very universal code of language in fashion. And we felt that if we pick this, then this would always allow us to travel, and we'll probably play on a much bigger scale than to pick up anything else.
now
So yeah, that was the reason.
I'm going to get Shivan to say a few words. He's just ducking
I'm a
behind
very,
everything. Yeah, so
shy.
he's happily ducking out and probably pushing Naresh forward. So while you were dressing the girls up, I asked Naresh that what prompted you to take the unconventional line of designing swimwear? Well, I've got
I
the
think
answer.
the other answer is we always wanted to finish our assignment quickest in college.
Lazy boys.
And that was, and always the smallest, tiniest piece of fabric would be left around. We would helter-skelter look for it and finish our assignment, I guess. That was another reason, I guess.
So this is the littlest of fabrics, hopefully in the littlest of time. Yeah, is that the concept?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but, you know, do you think at that point of time when you started, it was a bit of a risk to do swimwear because it wasn't so popular in India, considering the fashion wave had moved on to bohemian, western, and all the designers were sweeping away with their couture and bridals and all of that. But do you think this was a bit of a risk when you got into it and it wasn't that hot?
So honestly, we really worked on the idea of passion and restriction, I would tell you the other thing. We love to wear blinkers and design. Like, we know that this is swimwear. How much can you innovate within that piece of framework?
Exactly.
And that was something which we absolutely loved. Both of us are very, very blinker driven, like wear blinkers and see what we can do within the time space that we have and innovate as much as we can. So yes, but it was mostly a passion call by the end of it. We were very, very driven towards this category, and we felt that nobody's doing it, so why not us?
I think whatever the reason, maybe whether to travel, like you said, global to be, or to see everybody in hot beach bodies, or to be the lazy boys. It's
That's
worked
mostly me.
wonderfully. Today you're the masters in swimwear. Proud to have Shivan Narresh as an Indian brand into swimwear. We are absolutely proud. We don't have to look outward, and this is exactly where Indian fashion is going to go. We are going to innovate internally. We are going to bring everything that the Indian woman wants with our designers back home here. Okay, now back to these beautiful two girls standing there.
So just to very briefly draw the point home, so let's say when you look at her, the first thing that you notice is probably you'll notice a slit, you'll notice the neckline, you'll notice, okay, nice legs, but you do not notice, let's say, the apple shape. You will not notice the pear shape, or just the body the way it is, right? So we're successfully shifting focus. And again, when you take a slit that's in the center of the bust, specifically diagonally, it never splits open. So whether you're actually swimming in the sea and you're doing laps, or you're just chilling by the pool, this would never split open for you to feel dangerous enough be around people. So again, it's a very smart way of, again, you know, putting a cut across the body. And if you look at Ria here, she's actually essentially relatively a banana body type. And as you can see, just because there is a cut on the either side, there is an illusion that she has a slimmer waist in comparison to her bust and her hip. So this is exactly what we were trying to say even previously, that shift the focus. So you want to shift the focus from the parallel lines of the body to say, okay, she has a very skinny waist on either side, and which is why this style works. Very quickly, let me show you some ways of styling when you are on a holiday. This one.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful piece.
This one is a fringed panio. So I must say this, actually, panio is a registered word by Shivan Narresh. It's it's something that we invented, which was, it's a kind of a cover-up that has certain dimensions and extensions which no other brand does in the world. And the reason to do this was that when you are holidaying, you don't want to keep coming back to your hotel room to change every time you want to do one little different activity through the day. So you hit the beach in the morning, and then you want to go and have breakfast, and then after that you want to laze in the sun, you want to go shopping. You're not going to keep going back to your room to change every time you want a different look. You want to wear your swimsuit once in the day and then end your night with it. So then you need that one piece of outfit that you can style in maybe 5 to 10 to 15 different ways depending on where you are wearing it. So, Shivan, there are about 15 to 20 different ways to wear this. I think we'll try and show you some 5, 6, 7 ways.
So is this to be worn over a swimsuit?
Yes, correct. So
Very
a panio
cool,
is
like-
always worn over a swimsuit.
Very cool.
Idea is that you wear your swimsuit once in the morning, and then no matter where you are, your panio is in your beach bag or your travel bag, and let's say, okay, she wants to just walk by to the beach, and she's very concerned that, okay, from my room to the beach, I don't want to have 10 people looking at me. It's a great way to style it, and
Yeah.
once you reach there, you kind of untie it, you're on the beach, you do your activity. So now what Shivan is doing over there, so these are different kind of panio. So this is a fringed panio, this is a tassel panio.
Beautiful.
So for example, that's a halter style. It works really well when you just want to be walking around. For those of you who are very concerned that it's open in the front, it's a very simple front, and you can also belt it. So the moment you belt it, then it turns into a dress. You don't actually have to go and, you don't have to be concerned about it flapping open, even when you walk.
This, I think, is really it's the secret and the magic wand, like you say.
It is.
It really
because
is.
that one thing on your destination or holiday wardrobe just does a lot of other things. Shivan, let's try different. Let's do a jacket style here.
And I
So-
think, guys, this is probably a must-have. It should be a must-have in everybody's wardrobes.
So
It's a
let's-
nice deceit.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a little. I mean,
So,
yeah, or a bustier. Or
correct, yeah.
Or
So,
a pair of
for example,
tights.
now what we're doing is for you to wear it as a jacket style, you simply tie it at the back. It's just in the front. Now, whether you want to just let it be because you're already by the pool, or again, you can bring it in the front and you can belt it again if you would
Nice.
like to, or otherwise you just let it be open.
So panio.
Paneo, yeah.
Paneo.
P-A-N-E-Y-O, paneo.
Panio. And what does it mean? I mean, where is it a Spanish word?
No,
or-
it's actually, it's not a word from the English dictionary. It's a word that we came up with. It had the essence and the vibe of something that you
Very cool.
wear
And it's
on
very
top.
cool.
Yeah, and it
Sounds
it
very cool, very
sounds
beachy
something
and
very
cool.
beachy. And
Absolutely, very beachy.
oh, can you walk for us? Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite nice. Beautiful.
Let's also do one
It's quite
shawl
sensuous
style.
as well.
Shawl style in this, yeah. I'm also going to show you another really interesting style. Let's say you're not wearing a bathing suit and you're wearing a dress or a bustier and a trouser. You can also wear it as a cape on top. So that. So you simply take it from the front, take it at the back, and you tie it at the back. So now whether you wear it with your trousers, high-waist trousers, or shorts, with a spaghetti inside, or
nice.
even a top, it just covers you. It just
Yeah.
instantly makes you glamorous. So even if
Yeah.
you're in like your, I don't know, like,
It's a perfect sundowner,
Yeah.
I would say.
let's see you walk. Just, it gives
Do
you
you want
the
to turn
essence
around?
and
Yeah,
sass,
very
and,
cool.
it looks really good. So,
Yeah, and the tassels are really kind of very sensuous. They're accentuating everything. Beautiful.
let's show one more style here of tying a knot, or you can do a one shoulder style. So every collection, and every drop that we do, you will always see different interpretations of Paneo in that collection, because we realize that you might want to have more than one, so they need to look different and they need to be matching with your swimsuit. So for example, this one is a bandeau style. For all of those who like to do sunbathing and you don't want to have tan lines, this is a great way for you to expose, without having any tan lines with your pannier. So yeah, a lot of different ways to do this.
This is absolutely magical. Seriously, guys, this really is a wonder piece. Let me say that. Perfect. And girls, do you want to walk around and see how comfortable you are as well in it? And you, yeah. Yeah, wow. Amazing. Yeah, it does. Great. And what are the other magics up your sleeve? What are the other little rabbits coming out of the hat?
I can show you a scarftan, this one.
That is what I was going to come next to, because this is probably one of the most common things that Indian women wear on holidays.
Yeah, let's bring her.
And this is a beautiful kaftan.
We call it a scarftan actually, and it's also called the hangover dress very popularly in the Shivan Narresh store.
I love it.
It's something you want to put the next day when you wake up on a holiday, or you're at your wedding, or you're at a bachelorette, you don't know where you are, you're at your 40th birthday, and in the morning, and you want to take just less than 2 minutes to just be presentable. It's the dress for that.
But it's a beautiful piece as well. So is this printed? I mean,
yeah, correct. So it's
painted or printed?
yes, it's silk. It's 100% silk, and this one is iconomash. It's print. That's what it's
Narresh,
called.
coming back to silk, tell me how practical is silk in beachwear?
So it depends.
Doesn't it get
it depends what weight are you picking. So if you're with 60 or 80 grams silk, it's always extremely light and breezy, and it's absolutely feels organic and good on your body.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick. It flows with the wind. You'll never feel hot. The moment you go above 80 grams, it starts to get heavier, and you start to feel like it's sticking to your body.
And it defeats the purpose of beachwear.
It's the same thing if you wore 120 or 180 GSM weight of cotton. You wear a thick cotton, you're going to sweat in it even though you know you're wearing cotton. So it's more to do with the weight of the fabric than the actual yarn. So we'll just quickly see. Come. So we call it the hangover dress or the scarftan. Depending whether what you're wearing inside or nothing at all, you just like slip it on and you're instantly ready for this.
This is absolutely beautiful.
There is one small hack here.
Okay guys, time for a hack.
So for those of you who are very proud of their hourglass figures, which I want all of you to be, you can also just simply belt it, and it just makes you look very, very feminine and very effortlessly glamorous. So that's another way.
And it also adds that element of formal wear.
It suddenly just makes the dress.
It probably if you want to go for a sundown or you want to go for dinner to the restaurant at the resort, it adds that element of
absolutely
an evening wear also. So pretty.
Now, get me the one shoulder kaftan. And I'm going to show you one last thing. I have a couple of more, but I think we'll all get bored. Any questions till we wait? Yeah.
What's the next step with Shivan Narresh? I know you guys are exploring a lot with ski wear, I believe. On Instagram, whenever I stalk you guys, I figure you're on another holiday. But what's next? Is it like diving gear? Maybe paddies?
No, I think with ski, so I don't know if you've ever observed, our logo has 5 animals. There is a snail, peacock, dolphin, and there's a reindeer. Each of them is a promise that we will get into that holiday lifestyle. We started with swim, which was a snail, and that was our starting point. We moved to resort wear, which was peacock. We also moved to cruise, which was dolphin. We moved into elephant, which is safari. So all of these clothing we already do. So wherever you are holidaying, any of these things. The last one was reindeer, and it was a brand promise. And when we finished 10 years of Shivan Narresh, we wanted the next decade to be about skiing. It's another lifestyle that Indians are very scared of doing. And fair, I mean, it's fine to do so because we're a tropical country and we're not really born into skiing. But it is one of the things that we love recreating around. We love the mountains, and we love, because again, we're from tropical countries, we love to be around snow and being in colder climates. So again, we realize a lot of women do not know how to dress when you go appropriately, when you go skiing or when you're going for any winter holidays. So that's why in the last 1-2 years, you've been seeing a lot of ski. You will continue to see this because it's something that we really wish to explore more and more in this decade of ours. And apart from that, we are...
This is absolutely wow.
Okay. So let me talk about this. Let's move to this. So this is one of our very, very quintessential silhouette that is for any destination wedding. The reason for that, of course, you can buy a Shivan Narresh couture and you can buy the lehenga and you can buy the saris. But this, the bustier, the Shivan Narresh bustier is again one of our classics. We interpret it in different things every year or two. But the reason why this silhouette is a must-have for a destination wedding is that all three things you tend to use separately once the wedding or whatever occasion that you're buying it from are over. You have the bustier, which is as much of an Indian blouse as Western it is for you to try it with trousers and shorts and things. The trouser for you to wear with anything else, with white shirts, for your office works. And then you have the cape, which you wear it in about 3 different ways. So of course, one is front open. That's one option. Shivan, let's show the other one. Then there is a shawl style. So it actually has a closure under the arm, and you can also wear it as a shawl style. And then yeah, there's another one in which you yeah.
This
And the
bustier can go beautifully with any sari also.
That's correct.
It's a cocktail evening.
So it's something that it goes very easily
Yeah, it's with
versatile from
with a
your
cocktail
Western
sari.
to Indian clothing. And the third one is you simply belt your cape, and it just makes it very possible for anybody on any size to adopt the bustier and the cape in their wardrobes. So when you don't want too much attention on the bustier, but you still want to be appropriate, then that's another way for you to style it. So yeah, guys, I'm not going to take more of your time.
This was absolutely fabulous. I mean, so many ways to drape, so many ways to dress, so many ways to look beautiful and fabulous, and so many tricks, hacks, what you say. You're Instagram friendly, I can see that. you cracked the code. And you have all the Instagrammers here. I mean, each one of them is like a master of Instagram. So I know why you're so popular now. But guys, thank you so much. And if anybody wants to ask any questions, I'm sure and you're not going to get this chance again. They're not going to reveal their secrets again. They'll call you straight to the store, buy and get out. So make the most of it right now. Get all your answers. Our friends are here on really, I mean, just sharing all these very interesting tips and how to do, I mean, just look at something like this, which is evening, to something like that, that's a cocktail wear with trousers. So do you guys do trousers also?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
We do embellished versions, we do printed versions, we do solid versions. It's also one of our most selling trousers for travel because it doesn't crush, it doesn't crease.
The fabric.
You can be on an 18-hour flight and get out of the flight looking exactly how she looks right now.
With those heels? But whatever, no, this was absolutely lovely. Thank you so much, boys. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate, guys. Both of them were traveling and they really kind of took time out. They are on a crunch, but we're really grateful that you're here and it's been very, very enriching. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, girls, the beautiful girls. Hopefully, we'll see you more often in beautiful bodies with everything, and they've been very sweet. And I think I think we got the perfect sizes, is what I'm seeing. And, I mean, even the models were just suited to what you really wanted to show. Next time, I'm standing there, and I'm walking home with these. They're not going back. Thank you, guys.
Hi, you guys. It's Karma. You guys have become like a go-to brand for destination weddings, as we all know. So everyone who's getting married on a beach is wearing you guys. But tell me, what are the 3 pieces that you think all of us should own in our wardrobes as wedding attendees for beach weddings? Yes.
One is something that I've already shown you, a bustier trouser and a cape work very well as a silhouette because you can, again, like I said, wear all 3 things in different ways on the destination or even once you're back. The second one, I did carry it, but I'm just short on time, I don't want to show it to you, is a quintessential Shivan Narresh sari. All our saris are resistant to any kind of UV rays, any kind of sunscreen lotions you put on your body. It does not stain, it does not catch sand, so you can actually pick up your sari and you can take a dive into the pool, you can walk into the beach, and it does not crush, it does not crease. So for a destination wedding, it's one of the best things to invest in, is a Shivan Narresh sari. And the third one, I would say, is actually a lehenga. The only innovation that we've done with lehenga is that we came up with, when we started to get into Indian wear, destination weddings, we didn't want to play with any of the existing traditional embroideries in India. They're beautiful and stunning the way they are, but it does not serve the functionality that you require them to function when you're traveling for a destination wedding. First of all, this age-old thing of carrying a 20 kg lehenga does not work on a destination wedding. Of course, you can do it for argument's sake, but it's not practical enough to do it. Second, any of your traditional lehengas, when you wear it at a destination wedding on a pool party, it will eventually tarnish. Any contact with water, and a few months down the line, you'll take out your sari or your lehenga and you'll see that it's tarnished. And so you put in so much money in it and it just doesn't feel like it's worth it, right? So we came up with, again, something that's registered by our brand. It's called Skein Work. We're the only ones who do it, which is that we work with tiny pellets. So we either hand cut them or we machine cut them, and we use them. So essentially, any Shivan Narresh embroidery that you will see is 100% waterproof. On the lehengas, on the bustiers, anywhere. So it's something that we really take a lot of pride in, that we're very functional as a brand. So of course you're paying, I know as a bride or as a wedding goer, you're purely buying for the aesthetics, but we are doing our job as designers for also functionality, because we don't want you to come back and feel bad that lax that you spend months and years down the line, it doesn't look the way it looked the first day that you got it. So yeah, I would say a Shivan Narresh lehenga or a skirt.
So, and the other thing about carrying those 300 kilo lehengas to a destination is also paying extra baggage, which I hate.
Exactly. And
at the
it's not
airport,
practical.
when they fleece you.
You must speak to your dad about this. They'll know, yeah. Or your mom. So they're the one paying for excess luggage.
They're saying we're either paying your ticket or that, decide. So another solution.
So we have this sneaker culture thing going on with Gen Z now. Could you possibly style an outfit with like Air Jordans or like any kind of outfit from your collection?
Oh, why not? You can sell anything with Air Jordans or a sneaker.
Yeah.
Like, from a sari to a mini skirt to like a hot dress on a Saturday night.
Do you think you can carry a... Yeah. Done it. It's the future, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks very cool. Yeah.
And also about like pockets. I feel like pockets need to be everywhere.
You will find pockets in every sari, every lehenga that you
Like,
buy
we've
from us.
spoken about this so
Zip
much
pockets.
with other people. Yeah.
You need to keep your phone. How are you going to Instagram your movement?
Modern day
Yeah.
brides, right?
They all have pockets.
Yeah.
Boys, you're really sorted.
Yeah,
You
I don't
sorted
think-
everybody
yeah.
out.
I mean, if I needed, why don't you think about those
Yeah.
last minute makeup
Yeah,
things?
how will you Instagram? Oh my God, can't live without it.
Yeah.
So answers are all there. I mean, you really have it sorted out. You really are the Gen Z boys.
Technically not born in Gen Z, but yeah.
No, got it right, got it right.
So I've seen a few brands, like, homegrown brands. They have these cargo pants with a lot of buttons around, so you can just open the buttons and they turn into shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have something like that in your store, but the kind of the ideology that is behind this brand, I feel like maybe if you can come up with something like that, because I happen to wear your outfit at my wedding, actually, at my pool party.
Okay.
And you guys were obviously my go-to. I did not even have to think before going elsewhere. But that's just the kind of idea that came to my mind, that if you had something like that, when I had to take a dip in the pool, I could have just, taken the lower part off and I could have just jumped into the pool with my shorts or something.
So we have something that we call a swim skirt. Next time when you go to the store, just ask them to show you a swim skirt. We've in the past done them as a maxi length also, but largely they're always there in a shorter length. And this also answers your question previously. I think there was a concern that, okay, if you are an apple shape and then you don't want to cut your body wearing boy shorts, then how else do you style it and hide your hips? So a swim skirt comes very handy. So we do different versions of it. There's one which is like a skirt. So it means essentially from inside is bifurcated. It's a short but with a skirt on the top. You wear it over your swimsuit. It looks like it's part of your swimsuit. But when you're entering the water, you can get out of it or swim with it. Either is fine. You can even swim with the skirt. Then there's a version that we do, which is like a wrap skirt. So exactly what you're saying. It looks like a skirt, but when you're about to enter, you simply unbutton it and you can enter the water. Even if you swim with it, it's fine. So it's meant to be worn either ways. Yeah.
Thank you.
Did we all get our answers out? To look slim, pretty, all beach holidays ready? Karen, you and I are ready? Yeah. With the plus size bodies?
Now take everybody on a holiday. I think you need to now do an official hello holiday.
Hello
Holiday. Hashtag hello holiday.
Hello holiday sponsored by Shivan Narresh. The only way I do holidays.
I was going to say sponsored by
Wardrobe by
hello.
Shivan Narresh. Wardrobe courtesy Shivan Narresh.
Okay, why not? We can always do a hashtag hello holiday.
But
Yeah.
hello holiday is definitely due. With all of us together to kick it up, life is too short. And the only way to live it up is holiday. We're in Shivan and Naresh. Sorry? Okay, so madam has another idea.
You know how Revolve does the Hamptons thing with all the influencers?
Yeah.
I feel like we should definitely do that. And you should wear all your outfits.
I just keep going to different places with it.
Yeah.
That's a good
Safari, we should go through all your seashells and dolphin, like all of those.
I love that idea. If you guys are considering it, just pitch in to me and I would love to be on board for it.
So
Yeah.
many concepts taking birth here. We are not ending this session. A holiday is sponsored by Shivan and Naresh.
We love experimenting. So
Courtesy
any new
DLF
idea, just keep
Promenade. We're all
throwing it.
sorted. Courtesy DLF Promenade, who's also kind of co-sponsoring it. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
guys. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you girls. You look beautiful. Continue smiling and looking. And boys, many congratulations on pulling that off. I can't wait for the reindeer line. And this was very interesting. Your logo with the 5 animals, a revelation to me. And it's really very innovative the way you think. Another dimension to your creativity rather. Totally, guys. Really, I mean, I've been in the fashion industry for over 25 years, but probably one of the most talented boys I've seen. Really, it's so inspiring to see how they keep innovating and on how practically they do what their thought process is. Fabrics again, amazing. Come on, way to go, boys. Keep doing it, and we're here to always support you. As friends of Hello and friends and my personal friends, always there to support you. Thank you once again for all of you being here. Thank you, Neetu and DLF Promenade, for giving us this opportunity.